Pull it together, Morrow.
Oh my God, that was. Hi to hello, everybody. Hi to hello.
Hey, y'all.
Happy Sunday evening. We are so darn blessed to have you guys. The comments in the green room, and then those comments that were just flying by, were so darn funny. And you guys are just so good to us. I tagged one. I put a star by it.
It's gone forever now.
It may be gone forever now, but if I could try to find it. Someone asked, they wonder if Lester's going to be wearing one of the shirts that he got in his gift and goodie this morning. And as a matter of fact, I am. I did not run and change real fast. I am wearing that shirt. Now, the problem is with my glasses on, Jamie said I look like Friar Tuck. I look like Friar Tuck.
He does.
You know Friar Tuck from the Robin Hood, He's the guy that didn't he have his head shaved right here? And he wore one of these kind of shirts, and his name was Friar Tuck.
That's exact. I walked in and I'm like, you look like someone.
No, I love the shirt. The kilt was a little bit too small for me. I sucked it in.
It was a little revealing. Let's just say that. We could get it to close almost-ish, but it didn't close all the parts.
And listen, if I'm going to wear a kilt, I'm going to wear it like a true Irishman or a Scotsman. Is it Scotsman? I'm going to wear my kilt the way a real, true Scotsman, as much comfort as I can possibly have. Because you all know that so we have to try to find a little bit larger size kilt, and I will absolutely wear that. I'll wear it out. I don't even care.
Things were free.
Irish? It's not Irish, is it? No.
It's a Scottish kilt.
It's a Scottish kilt. It's Scottish are who wear the kilts, okay? Or people in San Diego, from what someone over here says.
Apparently people in Texas as well.
And very soon, even folks in Texas
coming will be soon to a Texan near you.
So Scotland, San Diego, and Texas, we're going to all be wearing our kilts. I don't know why that comment said that. That is not a California thing coming from me. I just play and laugh and joke. But, Irish and Scottish wear kilts is what someone said. Guys, the comments are flying by so darn fast. You're making me dizzy what you're doing. Anyway, Jamie, what's been going on with you? Let's hear about some Jamie talk.
No, I think that we need to start out with saying, again, that our thoughts and prayers are so with those that have been impacted by Helene. It is really hard to sit here and joke and feel so lighthearted and have such a great time knowing so much of our country is in just disarray from this horrific storm. Things that were there 2 days ago are no longer there. And I don't mean just like their things. I mean their entire livelihood, their lives, their animals, their homes, their cities are just
entire towns are gone,
gone
off the map.
And people have to be rescued in ways that are only by air. And this isn't like a fix that's going to happen in a week, or people that can just go pick up their things or clean them off and rebuild. Like, this is catastrophic and horrendous and life-altering in ways that I can't even put together in my head. And I realize that, again, this is a Sanctuary Sunday and this is supposed to be lively and fun and all those things, but my heart just bleeds for those people who don't get to take that breath or have that relief, because they're whatever that they're standing with today is all that they have. And there are so many people that are just unaccounted for in this circumstance. And it is a horrible, horrible thing that is happening in our country.
You know, like I said this morning when I went live, and I talked about people who live along the coast already know that if you risk and reward, you take that risk and live along the coast, then you know you're going to have to deal with hurricanes. But usually people who live in the heartland, Tennessee is one state that I'm thinking about.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia.
I just don't think that
Kentucky,
it's
Virginia.
more than what those folks ever thought they'd probably have to deal with. And seeing some of the horrendous flooding, it may not have been the actual hurricane winds that got them, but it was the flooding that came. And
I just think that I've heard Lester's story a ton of times, and every once in a while he'll talk about things with me that strike a nerve or trigger things like that. And to think about that, and then the circumstances that these folks are going through, because they're up in mountains and or in hollers, that there's no power, there's no water, there's no lights, there's no roads to get in and out. Your vehicle is gone, your home is gone, and you probably with children, probably with elderly folks, and some will not survive this. No food, no water, no power, and no quick, easy way to fix this as well. I just think that this is one of the greatest catastrophes to ever happen in the U.S., at least in my lifetime. And I told Lester, and I told you all this yesterday, like my heart bleeds and I want to do something that's impactful to help. And I don't know what that is yet. And most people, I think, feel the same way, that nobody knows what to do because it's so specialized in what I see videos of people who have family who are just like getting as close as they can and then hiking some like 80 to 100 miles on foot to go find their families because that's the only way. And obviously I am not well enough, or skilled enough to do things like that. But Lester and I want to do something. We just don't know what that is yet. And we will pull something together to be able to be impactful throughout this disaster.
So absolutely. So, it's hard to get on here and have a lively, it's kind of hard to be lively and fun and just have a really nice end to our week and get ready to kick off a new week when there's so many people, like Jamie said, thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. I know there's probably still millions who are in the dark with no power. That means probably no internet. And just like Jamie said, just the struggle, and because it's not going to be, like I said this morning, the news of this will all go away. That's what happens to the news. It'll go away and the next big story will take over. But the hurt, the pain, the loss,
the trauma that will last.
That will go on for a very, very long time. So let's not all of us just rush back to our lives and like nothing ever happened. Just remember, there's folks who are going to be struggling for a very long time.
Maybe I remember you saying a story about how people around you
Keep talking. I'm going to turn the air on.
Were like starting to, like, days after everything happened and you're like in the thick of it, and people were like talking about the football game and talking about, they were getting ready to go to the game and who won and who played and what kind of food that they were going to, nachos and things like that they were talking about. And you were saying like you were still in like this one room that had exposed insulation and still were cleaning mud out of stuff. And like, well, it was such a diverse reality, like right there in your life.
And then, of course, I've always been involved with what they, something called fantasy football. It's a fun online fantasy game that you play with your close friends. And at that point, my colleagues. And this happened right at the beginning of football season, my Hurricane Harvey. And that was the last thing on my mind, going to a draft party or hosting a draft party, having everyone come over. And so my home was destroyed and everyone's wondering, hey, what's going on with the draft? I'm thinking, do you not realize these are my close friends? Do you not realize, what has just happened? And like Jamie said, a week or two after it's over, those who are not affected get back to normal. Soccer practice and taking the kids here and there and school and everything else. And those that were affected for months trying to rebuild, and life has changed. And I'll say one last thing, what's kind of crazy and sad, but very personal, is that on Sundays, Jamie knows that I had a routine that I would do. It was funny today watching Buddy and Stephanie. And Stephanie did a little pee-pat video of Buddy. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Stephanie had she pee-patted Buddy watching the football game. And Buddy's up and he's cheering and he's like all gung-ho. And I says, Jamie, do you realize that before Hurricane Harvey, every Sunday, that was my Sunday. I would wake up early. I would go to the store and buy what I wanted for my special meal. I would cook myself that special meal. If Ellie was there with me, then I would cook it for he and I, maybe Lex. And we would sit there and we would get ready for that football game. And when it come on, we'd be pumped up. We'd be eating our favorite meals. At halftime, we'd go outside in the yard, Ellie and I, and we'd invite Jake, come over, Dusty, my other nephew, and we'd have football games. Sometimes Uncle Dan. And we would actually play football during the entire halftime show. And then whenever the halftime show was up, we'd all go back in to finish watching the game. And then you have the afternoon game and you do the exact same thing and you eat the leftovers, whatever you had at lunch. And do you know that after Hurricane Harvey, we have never have we met up again and done anything of the sort? Nothing. Dan and Lou are back doing their thing, and Jake lost his home, and I lost my place, and Dan and Lou lost their home. And we never, even though we've all rebuilt and life has moved on, we have never returned to what an amazing Sunday tradition since. And that's been 7 years for us. And it was neat today watching Buddy all pumped up and gung ho. And I'm thinking, man, that used to be me. That was like me right there on any given Sunday during the season. But people don't get it, man. But for us, we all here are going to get it. And let's not forget those folks, friends.
I think that's the biggest message, is just know that just because we saw it and we get to go back to our daily lives, that those people have a very long journey ahead of them. And then the other call out I'll say is be very careful who you donate to if you are the donating kind, because there are a lot of scams that will come out of this in a very horrible way. So just pray for those people and just be conscious that even if it's not someone that is directly connected, there are a lot of people that are connected to that part of the country and that are very worried about those that they love.
And then let's not forget that even Lester had a little fun with you all on Friday, I think, when I played around with the AI, a computer. My phone app has an AI program on it that I was able to take celebrities and make them say what I wanted them to say. And they're very believable. They are very, very believable. So just because you see The Rock or Oprah or whoever you feel like might be a voice of giving, be very careful who you give and send to, because as of now, I don't think there's a whole lot of policing of what people can put out there and what they try to get out of you. So just be very, very careful giving out your credit card information to anybody. And I'm not trying to say not to be generous, but just be careful you don't get scammed, because the scammers will come out like crazy when there's a reason and there's an emotional pull on people's heartstrings to give, and they're going to come out knowing that.
So just be careful. And then the final thing I'll say is there are 2 more storms brewing in the Gulf.
Oh my goodness. Seriously? Already in the Gulf?
So we're paying close attention to those, because obviously it could go any way. For the sake of those people that just went through this in all of Florida and all of the other states that it impacted as it moved north in a really weird way, I hope it doesn't. I am just praying that it doesn't go there. Like anywhere else is where it should fall. But
if you
I hope it falls.
Mind, let me share something real fast. You guys give me 1 second. I want to talk about the lady who sent me something. I'm going to back this up a little bit. I'm trying to use my fingers to back up. Isn't she adorable? Mm-hmm. But this lady right here, is that paused? Yeah. So you all know that I've been asking for you guys to send us your pictures of you in your voodoo shirts that we had for the voodoo fundraiser. And this is the picture that this particular lady sent me, along with, I think that you can all see the background and the backdrop. And my heart just breaks as I read this and as I think about the message that she wrote to me. But her dad and her mom used their entire life savings to create, I think they used their grandparents' home to create a haunted house that was free. Now, you don't get much for free in this world. And they created a haunted house, I think like 13 years ago. The haunted house survived her dad having 2 strokes. And of course, all through the pandemic, everyone getting sick. And they were so excited because now it's their 13th year, I believe, to have their free haunted house, where their parents spent so much time and efforts into creating just a really fun place, not just for their city, but for other towns around. And there were so many people would come and line up and to enjoy the experience of the haunted house. And what she sent me was a whole bunch of pictures of that haunted house in ruin. It's just in ruin. It will never be repaired. It was beyond repair. Just beyond repair is what she described.
Just that picture in front of like a ruined home. And because we're also got just getting, first of all, what the heck is upstairs?
Those are cats playing up in the loft.
Getting emotional about Because we're all survivors of something standing right in front of just demolished place. Just
because we're all survivors of something. That in itself is just very powerful. So out of all the laughing and smiling and happy faces, I included that particular picture in there because she's wearing her voodoo shirt as a tour. Just ruins. And it's just very, very, very sad. And that in itself is a family who has survived 2 strokes from her dad, all of the pandemic with everyone being sick and everything being shut down. And now they're back in that season, that time of year. And now they get this flood and that house will never, it's over. So she said they're going to go by and gather up whatever they can because a lot of her grandparents' things are in there. But the house is gone. It's just no more. So very, very sad.
Yeah, it is so emotional. And if you put yourself in those people's shoes, like this is such a small scale, but Hurricane Beryl here, it was a category 1 and it knocked us out with power for 2 weeks. It knocked cell phone service down, but we still had our vehicles. We still had a generator. We still had each other, a way to connect, and our home still stood. Yet during that time, I literally felt like people were treating this area like it was third world. People lost their minds, their morals, their moral compass, and all the things. Like they just became savages when it came to resources that were available because they're in survival mode. I cannot believe or cannot imagine the circumstances that are happening in these places right now, because I will tell you the disconnection from the world brings you to a really different space. And I don't know. I can't stop talking about it, and I can't stop thinking about it overall.
Miss Leanne says that she's in North Carolina and hasn't seen this much devastation in her 55 years of life. Please keep everyone in your prayers. They have no cell service. Families cannot get in touch with each other. There's people in Chimney Rock, North Carolina, can't even get out, and their small town has completely been washed away. So she just asked us to continue to remember all these folks in our prayers. And thank you for sharing that information with us, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So like I said, it's hard to move on and talk about things that are jovial and happy and we all get a nice laugh and stuff. But just remember through all of the laughter, and hopefully we can have a few smiles tonight, that there are people who are struggling, suffering, especially those who've lost life, because a lot of things can be replaced. People can, get past, and they will get past this. But the loss of life from from human family members, friends, and, neighbors, and then of course, all of the animals and the equipment and homes. And it's just going to be really, really tough on a lot of people. So
I hate to switch total gears here, but I do need to address something that's going on.
Is it my eye?
Well, there's that.
I got stung. Y'all know I got stung. I didn't talk about it yet. I got stung in the eye. Let's not talk about the eye.
I wasn't actually talking about your eye.
I got stung.
I was talking about that general space up there. But Lester's having some noticeable moments. I'll just say that. Some things that are going on that have raised concern.
I made a tiny slip up. Recently where I called Tina, our ostrich, an alpaca. Sorry, it happens.
Hold on.
I'm a very busy man.
Time out. Not only did you call her that in a video that you recorded, you edited it, which meant you listened to the whole thing again. You posted it. That's 3 times to be able to think about it. And you said it multiple times in the video. I went back and watched. And I was like,
okay, so I am under a lot of stress. I have a colonoscopy this week. And you don't know how taxing that is on me, Jamie. You don't know what pressure that is on me. But I'm getting close to being a senior citizen, Jamie, and I'm allowed to have a senior moment. I'm excused. When you get to a certain age, you're allowed to have the excuse. Don't take my license away. I'm not ready to lose my license yet, okay? Or else I'll be having my farm help drive me back and forth to the JL ranch. It can happen.
It's not just that.
We've all had a moment here and there.
Do you want to talk about some of the other things? Or do you want me to just call out some of the other things that have happened in the last couple of weeks?
Oh, Lord.
One day.
How deep are you going to take this?
One day. I'm walking.
Remember, I have secrets on you too.
It's fine.
Just remember.
It's fine. One day, I'm walking in the kitchen. Lester's pouring coffee.
Oh.
Okay.
That was Friday, and I was stressed.
He literally takes the coffee pot, pours a splash into the cup, and then grabs the creamer and fills the whole cup.
Normally we do just the opposite.
Coffee flavored creamer.
No, normally we do. So let me explain, if you don't mind. Normally we take creamer and coffee, we put a dab of creamer, and then we fill it with coffee. We like when the coffee comes down and fills up around the creamer, and it just does a nice little blend. That's the way we do our coffee. I slipped up. One day I was not thinking, I was in a rush. I put in a dab of coffee and I filled up some creamer, and it still had a beautiful blend.
Yeah.
It was a little bit milky.
And then yesterday, he doesn't put the coffee pot back on the thing. He just leaves it on the counter. So I have a scalded counter and cold coffee.
Our second cup of coffee was freezing cold.
You want to tell him what you called me the other day?
Oh, no. You're really going to go all out with this, aren't you?
I asked him if I literally looked at him and I was like, I need you to do a memory test with me, because he called me his ex-wife's name.
In my defense, everyone has done a name slip up here and there.
7 years.
Hold on. I have been spending a lot of time with her because we co-parent, and we do a damn good job at co-parenting. If y'all have not noticed this, me and Maria, we co-parent like the best of the best. And we go to Lex's football games, and I think that she was messaging me about something, and I was just not thinking, and I called you Maria. Sorry. Someone says, God, no. Georgia not only says, God, no, she just says, God, no.
There's also a video.
Oh, no.
That he was editing today.
Oh, Lordy.
That I was like, delete that. People are going to really believe that you need to go have testing done. He's out there making a video of Rita, and he calls her Ivy. The whole video. I'm like, you can't post that. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you can't post that.
No, what I normally would do, I'll go into my video. I will not reshoot the video. I'll just go in there and I'll cut the audio snippet out, and I'll voice over. Hey there, come on there, Ivy. And what does it? And anyway, okay, so fine. I'm stressed. Okay, what's the big deal? I think that we all go through days. We all have moments. We have a lot of animals here, y'all. And sometimes I get those names mixed up. But listen, I wanted to let you know something. I'm prepared. If I am in a state of cognitive decline, not to worry. It happens to the best of us. And I've already prepared a way that I'm going to continue to bring you amazing video content, even if I can't remember a darn thing. If nothing can come out of my mouth at all, not to worry. As a matter of fact, I made a small 1-minute clip to show you all you have nothing to worry about. No matter what's going on up here in this noggin of mine, you're all going to be okay. Here, watch this and I'll show you. So you all have nothing to worry about. In case you're worried that Lester's losing it up here and I'll no longer make good quality video content, I'm going to take it back about 75 years to the way it was done in the old days, Jamie. I'm going to take it back to the way it was done in the old days. I'll just put on some funny music. I'll put everything I do in high speed since I walk so slow anyway. And I ain't got to say a darn word. Okay. And there you have it.
Did you just rub Jamie's head like a dog? Yes, he did. Actually,
I'm in cognitive decline, everybody, and that can happen.
I just want to know, like, how much are you going to use this excuse for things? Like, is this going to go
on?
Why
did you put your Chinese hat into your tool rack? I'm in cognitive decline. Why don't we just make it a normal word and it won't be so it won't be so upsetting. If we can just make it part of our vocabulary, that Lester's in cognitive decline. We can all just have a good laugh about it, and I'll just keep on making funny videos.
Well, somebody got a really big laugh because we got a gift today.
An email.
And it's a game called Senior Moments. Now, it is brand new. I have not opened it yet. The email is from a lady who says she's 70 years old and really thinks that Lester has something going on. She loves him. She's been watching for 6 years now, and she just wants to call out that she
said she's never seen me in such bad shape.
That's true.
I'm like, come on, lady. I didn't reply to her. She sent it to Jamie, and she said, don't even tell Lester. She wants Jamie to pay attention. She wants
me to pay attention, and she sent me some links to be able to give him some tests.
I failed every one of them.
Though,
I failed every one of them darn tests.
Good news, though. This game came, and it actually, oddly enough, it matches some of the tests from what I gather. Now, we're not going to like use the board game part of it, but it does have a board so you can race around to see who can win. But it says
it looks like the game pieces from Sorry. Remember that game called Sorry we used to always play?
Yeah. So what it is like,
oh my goodness,
it's things that you repeat or you give instructions so that way you can try to remember things, because memory
it's a memory game.
Memory is important, it turns out, and especially short-term memory, which apparently is Lester's first thing to go. So,
oh Lord, so what do we got here?
We're gonna play a little bit of the memory game here.
So these
the
are
senior
cards.
Moments. Yeah.
Okay, senior moments. So the game is actually called Senior Moments. And if you have not experienced senior moments, I promise your day's coming. Your days are coming.
All right. So we're playing the short game of it. Let me make sure I'm.
Let's not play a game. Just tell me what to do. What do I got to do?
I know. I just want to make sure that I understand all the different cards. Orange, senior. Okay.
So this card says, remember the following. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
White House, house party, party time, time warp, and warp speed. So remember the following. All right. Let's see how many you can remember. Smarty pants. Go. Oh.
I wasn't listening.
Oh. You weren't listening.
All I heard was I thought you were showing how to do it.
Okay,
Sorry.
then let's try another one. Don't look.
Okay.
Let's see how smart she is.
Wait, why am I being tested first?
You're going to test me. So it says, perform the following dances. Oh, no one can do that. No one knows that. I'm just going to ask you to remember these following dances.
All right.
Remember the following dances. The tango, the waltz, electric slide, the foxtrot, and the Roomba.
The tango, the waltz, electric slide, the foxtrot, and the Roomba.
You have proved that you are not in CD.
All right, you ready?
Oh, Lord.
Look that way. Perform the following actions. Okay?
Perform the actions? Don't embarrass me in my new shirt.
Meow like a cat. Moo like a cow.
Wait, can I do them one at a time?
No. Cluck like a chicken.
Hold on, start over.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, meow like a cat.
Go ahead.
Moo like a cow.
Yeah, I got that.
Cluck like a chicken. Honk like a goose, and howl like a wolf.
Okay. Meow. Honk, honk. I missed something in the middle. There's something in the middle I did not get. Click. I got him. I had to think about it for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, that was hard. That was so darn hard.
It is hard.
So y'all are going to play with us at home. You're going to play with us, okay? So I'm going to choose one, okay? This is going to be fun. Okay, you can all do this at home. Everyone, prepare yourself. Turn off the TV.
Wait, they're watching us.
Yeah, so you need to watch us and listen to us
They
and
can't turn off-
focus. Here we go. Hear me first. Do not write this down and do not rewind your video. It says perform the following.
Oh,
You ready,
God.
Jamie?
I have to perform it?
Here we go. Just listen. Don't do it now. Just listen. Everyone listen. Give the peace sign. Stick out your tongue. Whistle Dixie. Wrinkle your nose and raise your eyebrow. Now look at the camera and everyone at the same time. Do those things. Go.
I don't remember the last one.
You don't remember the last one? Raise an eyebrow.
Oh, yeah.
Even I got all of mine right. So my question is,
I was so worried about what whistling Dixie meant.
you don't know Dixie?
I just said, I sang Dixie.
No, that's not whistling Dixie.
What's whistling Dixie?
Look away, look away, look away, look away.
Well, I also
come
can't
down
whistle very
from
well
the
since
land
my
of cotton.
whole surgery. I was so worried about whistling and like making that face that I was like, I stopped listening after it said whistle.
And that might not even be Dixie. I don't know what Dixie is. I don't know. I don't remember. I should know that. I'm a Southern boy. I should know that, but I don't. All right, my turn. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes.
Repeat the following R words.
Oh, no. Okay.
Rough, ribbon, roof, rug, ruckus.
Rough ribbon, rough rug, rugged. Wait. Rough, rough ribbon, roof, rug, rubbin.
Ruckus.
Ruckus. Oh my God. I don't know.
We both have one miss.
I'm having some serious senior moments. Okay, Jamie, this is, oh my gosh. I don't want to get old that fast. It's bad enough. I got the wrinkles already showing. Dwayne Lacey said he got them all. Jamie, that's not fair.
I'm not shocked.
I'm
Dwayne's
not
a
either.
young man.
He's a young man still. Don't start showing out, Dwayne.
Katie says these are hard. They are hard, Katie. I don't know if the real if the real thing in the game is like you do like as many as you do.
See,
like,
I'm with
then
Patty.
You move that many hard.
Patty's like, I can't do it right now. I'm on medication. Thank you, Miss Patty. I am too. Okay. Now I've not taken mine yet today, but but I'm on medication. I'm prescribed. I just haven't taken it in a couple of days. Maybe I should, Jamie. Maybe I should. Hold on. Elise says she's 57 and she's got every one of them right so far. Oh no. Peggy is 75 and she's got them all right so far. This can't be. That just means y'all have.
This is a fun game, though.
Y'all have lived sheltered lives.
Senior moments.
Okay, here we go. Remember the following. These are all tourist attractions. This is going to be hard. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are playing too. Dwayne, you ready? Okay. Tourist attractions. Old Faithful, the Empire State Building, Disney World, the Grand Canyon, and Pikes Peak. Jamie, what are those 5 tourist attractions? And you all better be playing too. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Oh my God, I forgot the first one.
You
hold on. Old
Faithful,
Faithful, Empire State Building, Disney World, the Grand Canyon,
Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
Who?
Shut up! Don't even start with me. You ready? Remember these mystic sites, okay?
Hold on. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce these probably.
You ready?
I guess.
The Black Hills.
Okay, hold on.
The Bermuda Triangle, the Sphinx, Easter Island, and Stonehenge.
Okay, Black Hills, Easter Island, the Sphinx, Stonehenge, and Easter Island. Boy,
you said Easter Island twice. You have the most senior moment of all.
Oh no!
Actually,
what does this over here show you? I remember Raise the Roof. I remember this over here. I'm not that old. If I can remember how to do this at the dance clubs. Okay, well, you know what? Even Vanessa is not doing well, and Vanessa notices everything. So,
well, I will say this: the word ones are easier than multiple words. So if you give single words, for me, that's
find
easier.
me another action. I want to do an action. You got to do a fun action. I want to do an action.
All right, perform the following actions.
Okay, everyone, we're doing this together. Do not make me do this alone. We're going to perform these actions. Don't make me stand up, please. I'm wearing red shorts.
Stand up.
Oh my God.
Turn around, grab your thumb, sing Yankee Doodle, and close your eyes.
Well, that's so, okay, that's dumb, but whatever. So I'm going to stand up. I'm not showing y'all my shorts. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to grab my thumb. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going to sing Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. And was there one more? Am I right so far? Oh my God, what was the last one?
The last one's the hardest.
What was the last one?
Because you're so focused on that action thing. It's everything after that action that's hard.
What was the last one?
Close your eyes.
Oh my gosh. That is really, really tough.
Every time that there's something that is like prolonged, I think like my brain goes on like I must do those things, and like that's funny.
I don't know if I can catch it in time, but I think that I am right. Hold on. This is so darn funny. Look what April says. I'm in sad shape. April, me and you both are in sad shape.
This is actually a very fun game, to be honest with you, because it's hard. It is not for the faint of heart. Easy.
Thank you so much to the lady who sent the game and the email. But listen, you don't have to worry about me because, like I said, I already have everything already taken care of, just in case. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be able to make it, y'all. Don't worry about me. I will be fine. Okay. I will be fine. If we have to resort back to, if you ever wake up in the morning and you notice one of them kind of videos, just know, don't make a mean comment. Lester's just having a moment. He's having a senior moment. Okay. Can we just agree that senior moments happen to all of us? Shut Lester in a nursing home.
I need to be in a nursing home, she says. She's like, because she didn't get the game.
Oh, shoot, Lester. I need to be in a nursing home. Yeah. Lord. But y'all know that it's going to happen to all of us at some point. Okay. So it is what it is. We all have to get older. And some of us will, that's kind of a funny story. Not funny at all, really. But if you think about something, so I had two grandfathers who have both passed, right? Mm-hmm. And one of my grandfathers lost his cognitive abilities, even though he was still able to function fully in every physical activity, yet he lost it here up top. And my other grandfather lost his abilities to do things with his body, yet he was as sharp as a tack until the day he died. So it makes you kind of wonder. Now, I know we can't pick and choose how we're going to age, but if you could pick and choose, would you rather have your mind if you lose your body, or would you rather have your body in all physical activities, even if you lose your mind? Does that make sense? And I don't want to be insensitive to anybody or any situation. And I'm talking about my grandparents, both of my grandfathers who are both passed. I don't know which one is worse, to have all functioning body parts, yet you don't really, you have some cognitive issues, or would it be worse to have be sharp as a tack, but not be able to physically do things that you used to do?
I think it would be really hard to not be able to do the things that you used to do, and because it would be defeating, and it would be, I think that would be really hard. And I don't necessarily mean like you can't get outside and work and things like that. I mean, like there's a lot of physical things that happen that would be mentally tasking, like on your well-being as well. I don't know. I think it's really hard.
You know what
either way.
Think? Picture this.
I don't want to be a burden to anyone.
Hold on. Here's what I'm going to say though. I think that to other people, to your family and those who care about you and love you, It would be easier if you lost your physical abilities, as long as you could still communicate, share memories, talk about good times,
Yeah.
have conversations, remember the names of all your children, your grandchildren, your spouse, your parents, to those around you. To yourself, if you've lost your mind, you probably don't know you lost your mind.
Right.
But you still want to be able to get up and go make yourself a cup of coffee.
Right.
You want to go grab a cup of iced tea. You want to make, cook some eggs. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
So to yourself and for yourself, if you lose your mind, you don't know you lost your mind.
It's true.
Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
So a lot of people saying, I want my mind, and some say, I want my body.
I just don't want to be a burden on anyone. I don't want anyone to have to take care of me. And that is something that, like, I had one kid, and I
who's a boy.
Right. And I would hate to be a burden to him or his family. And that's what I don't want to be.
There's a lot of comments going by, and I wish they weren't going quite so fast. I'd love to be able to read some. We have a really nice audience, and that's a blessing, but it also makes it real hard to catch and read any comments, because they literally are like, and I wish I could, but what I will do, because I'll always read anyway, I'll go back and read some stuff later. I
just think that, like, I realize that there's this thing, like, I would always take care of my mom or my grandparents or anything like that. But there's like this pride, maybe it's ego thing in me of, like, I just don't want anybody to have to take care of me. I don't want that for anyone. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's like physically and my mind. I'd like, I don't know. Can I just die in my sleep?
Well, just think about how hard it is for people, though, who find themselves where they just they need somebody to help them.
And keep in mind, it doesn't always work that way either. It could be both. It could be both. Like, we don't get a choice. We don't get to pick or choose. All we can do is take the best care of our minds and bodies that we possibly can. And I'll be the first to admit that in my younger years, I probably didn't do so great. Heck, even right now, I need to make that a priority, so that way it doesn't become that, but it just gets so lost in, like, the priorities of doing things, and it shouldn't. But as a woman, we're last. It really is. We treat ourselves the worst. And that is, I know this is a Time Out Tuesday talk.
This is a topic for your Time Out Tuesday. For anyone who has no plans on Tuesday, well, guess what? Jamie loves to talk about deep conversations.
But really, though, like, that is something I even say that in my career. And part of my role in my job is to create access to care for women. And that's not a dig at men, but it is a healthcare statistic that women put themselves last. The dog will get healthcare and treatment before a woman will. And that's just, I guess that's our nature. I see it in our own animals, that they do the same thing, but it's true. And we have to change that. We have to find ways to take care of ourselves. And I don't know, I'm becoming more and more of an advocate for that, even though I probably am not the best example to have led that. So,
well, I would say the worst mistake that you've made is allowing a guy who's 12 years older than you to swoop you off your feet, because everyone knows that. Well, you always say it yourself. That's why women
live longer.
That's why women live longer. But that means that we generally, us guys, are going to pass before the ladies anyway. So that leaves you a long, long time to have to figure everything out once I'm dead and gone. And that's probably most women here. I would think that most women on the channel who have already reached that point in your life where you may have lost your partner, and then you have to find a way to pick up the pieces and keep going without someone who you've been partnered with for who knows how many years. That's sad, and that's scary for women in general, just in general. Well, how do we get there, Jamie?
We just go on the roller coaster of emotions.
Well, you brought up the senior moments, making fun of me for losing my darn mind, and then we'll look where this all turned out to be.
Well, you called me your ex-wife's name.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and talk about our animals. We got a big name reveal coming up tomorrow. And we're excited about now. I know the name.
I just told him right before the live, and I swore him to secrecy. He is not allowed to tell, because if you know him, he also has a new nickname. You want to tell him what your new nickname is?
It's the Triple L. I forgot. Another senior moment slipped right past me. I don't know.
Y'all meet Loose Lips Lester here. The Triple L. He's not allowed to tell you. Do not beg him on this. Do not beg him. Do not beg him in the comments, because GPAT here is not allowed to tell those things. But it will come out tomorrow. I will post that video on both Facebook and YouTube so that everybody can know that our sweet alpaca has a name. It's exciting. It's really cute. She loves it.
We did stay true to the alphabet, the letter U, and with the IE syllable on the end. So if you can figure out a U word that has an IE on the end, and I will say thank you to so many wonderful name suggestions. You guys,
you have put a lot of thought into it.
I know,
and whole research lot of, then, what the names meant.
Not only in English, there was other languages, some Hawaiian dialects,
Swahili, like there were some really neat things.
It means this in your native language,
which made it really hard to decide. Truthfully, like it was not something. It is not the original choice that I went with. First of all, it like I had this in my head before the baby was born.
Can we just say it's not going to be what we know it's not going to be?
It's not Undy.
It's not Undy. So you can all relax. Now, if it were a little boy, it might have been named Undy. Okay, yeah. Undy, but it's not Undy. Yeah. Jamie, why is everyone saying the name in the comments?
I don't know.
There's a
lot of different names.
Okay, y'all need to stop, because y'all are gonna. People have guessed the name. How?
Well, I don't know, but you need to stop talking about it, because he's about ready to spill his guts. This is what happens right here. Loose Lips Lester is about ready to let shit fly. And it's not going to happen. We're not talking. No more name talk. Do not coerce him. Do not message him.
Jennifer says, "Is it the time of the show?" Which I love the show where we can ask questions.
Sure, but not about the name of the alpaca, because Lester, I can feel it right now that I shouldn't have told him. I shouldn't have told him.
There's a lot of people guessing it.
His
correct.
fingertips. Look at. Show what you were just doing over here with your hands. Show me what you're doing. He's literally going like this because he can't contain himself. It's like it's crawling out of his own skin right now, because he wants to he needs to say it. It is like,
Let's do a quick check around the farm right quick. So we'll start with the alpaca, and I will say that with Ernie, it's guys, it's day by day. There are moments in a day where he'll just really make you think, oh boy, look at Ernie. And then you go out a few hours later and seems like he's just dead to the world. Like he can't find the energy to get up and move from one spot to the next.
Yeah.
And so I will continue to say that Ernie is day by day. I think that if there were a vet or a doctor they've told us before, you've always heard this on the TV shows, it's day by day, it's day by day. And so I'm just going to say that Ernie is day by day. And I'm sorry that I can't give you better, but we've made videos and we've posted the videos of his good moments and then moments where he's not so good. I
got a call yesterday from A&M to just check on Ernie, but also to tell me that there's still no blood. That's over a week without any possible known donor that is affiliated with A&M. Isn't that wild? Yeah. Like, that's how horrible that this I don't want to call it an epidemic, but this situation is with the parasite in the alpacas in this part of Texas. It's unbelievable.
And so moving pastures over to the goats and the big birds and the pigs, everyone's wonderful. Everyone's doing great.
Did you tell everybody that you found Tina?
Yes. It was in the video, but I was just calling her.
You called her an alpaca.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did you also talk about the Carl situation and how the Tina thing happened?
That was all in the video. Okay. That Pig Trudy broke open the fence and Carl has escaped. Well, Carl allowed, it was just
but all is back to business as usual in that pasture. And everybody's where they're supposed to be currently. Dinky Daryl, I got up close and personal with his man parts this morning to be able to check how things are healing down there, and they look great. He has acted like it didn't happen since he got home, since that whole shit show event of chasing him through the ditch. He's been fine. So Dinky Daryl, all good.
I was going to shift over to the horse pasture, and that's all Jamie, because I will not walk in that pasture for anything. Rita is keeping me far, far away.
Rita had this moment tonight, and
It's the devil. It's just the devil in her.
I did not have my camera. I'm out there filling up waters before it was time to feed, and
she screams, "Lester!"
I'm out there, and Storm is making her way to me, but Rita is running laps, like from the well house up to the fence and kicking and just like losing her mind. And she wasn't doing it towards anyone. And that was the weirdest part. No one else was around.
She's just a playful
It was like she had this pent up energy that was like, it has to come out. It has to come out. And like, it lasted for 10 minutes of her just making laps and running. And everybody's just watching her like, what's wrong with her? Like, it was the most crazy moment. And when I say kicking, I mean like full on up in the all fours off the ground at the same time with a kick at the same time, like straight up karate moves happening out in the pasture. And I still don't know why, because when it was done, she was fine and she ate and nobody fought. Nobody, like, it was bizarre.
So here's where my mind went when I looked over and saw her acting like such a fool. I love her. Y'all know that I love her, and she also loves me. But you know that nephew Jake, oh Lord, nephew Jake is going by the name Cowboy now. Uncle Dan and Sister Kim got a couple of horses who at one point had been trained, and they were really good horses. Spike and what's the other one's name? Willow. Beautiful horses. They hadn't been ridden in a few years. And so Jake, who's probably the most active and the most fit of everybody up on the hill, is the guinea pig who has to get up on top of them horses. And so sure enough, Jake gets up, he gives himself a cowboy hat, some boots, some jeans, and Jake gives himself a nickname, Cowboy. Now he's called Cowboy. And he's been out riding these horses. And it's been neat to watch Jake, because if you remember when he used to work for us, he was terrified of horses.
Because he had a horrible, like, he either did he get thrown off or ran over?
He said he got run over when he was little, and he's always been scared of horses. The same way Ellie got kicked and he's been scared of horses. So Jake is also scared of horses, but he's doing real good. Yeah. He's been getting on these horses and he's been working with them, and he's doing real good. And I thought to myself, I can't wait until Rita gets a little bit older, and I'm going to call Cowboy over. Say, hey, Cowboy, I need some help over here, Cowboy. Come over. I got some help for you. I need some help. Now, listen, we've put saddles on Rita. We've lunged her with saddles. We've never put a bit in her mouth, never. But we've used a hack, or we strapped to her halter. And so she's familiar with all of the things, but not having weight on her back. And Jake only weighs about $150. He's not a very big guy.
Do that to Jake.
No, that will be the best thing that could happen to Jake, because I remember Courtney said, Cowboy is a title you have to earn, and I will officially call him Cowboy if he can get on the back of Rita.
Rita's gonna have some training before that happens. Rita.
Yes, Becky says, don't forget, he also wears a bandana. Yeah, he does tie a bandana.
Rita's gonna have some training before anybody gets on her back. I will say that, because right now, holy moly,
y'all, she's too young right now. Okay, and we're gonna get real help for her from someone who knows. But no, it's cute watching Jake. He's so. It's empowering. It's very empowering.
I think it's really neat to watch his confidence build. Seriously, because he really was scared to the extent of he wasn't afraid to go out in the big pasture, but when it came to handling the horses, you could feel his fear. So now seeing him both working with both of those horses who are not familiar to anyone here. It's not like anybody else got on them and showed him like, hey, they're good at what they do. He got on them first. And I love that he's seeking help. I saw Uriel come out and help him. I saw him call Courtney. I know he has plans of going up to learn how to ride.
Could you believe how much Sister Kim knew? Did you watch that video?
No.
Sister Kim shocked the heck out of me. Now, don't forget, Sister Kim has always had horses her whole life. I guess since Harvey, she hasn't. Wait, since Harvey, she hasn't. But
she had a
that red horse. I forgot the name of that horse.
Dabney.
But the thing is, so Sister Kim knows her way around horses, but she's got to the point where her body doesn't really allow her to ride a whole lot. But it was neat watching her tell Jake what to do, why to do it, how to do it, where to do it, all of the details that you need to know. And I was like, listen to Kim. Look, you know, I'm like, where was she when I was over here getting thrown off of voodoo every other day and all the things? So no, it's really neat. But I will say this while we're having Jake on, everyone knows that Jake and Lissa, I don't know exactly what to have Jake on one day. What the deal.
I'm going to see that baby this week.
You got something for that baby. It's
in my car.
Don't take it out because you'll end up forgetting it when you go.
I am leaving it in the car and I'm going to see that baby.
But he and Lissa, I don't know if they signed papers. I think they actually signed papers.
I saw the video
on a beautiful piece of property, and they're going to start preparing to move off the hill and start his very own homestead away from Morrow Hill, away from, you know, some of the riffraff there in Plum Grove. And that makes us proud for him. But I'll tell you what he did. He had a moment. He had himself a moment. Did you watch the video?
I saw a little bit of it.
He had himself a moment out in the pasture when everything hit. And that happens. That happened to me too.
I was going to say, I remember when you had your moment.
It happened to me too. You know, it's one thing when you're out looking and you're looking around for places and you're trying to figure out what you can afford, what's in your budget, talking, you know, you go through a lot of different properties and you find out that the inspection was not good on this one or that one. And so that's all easy. But it wasn't until we actually went and signed on this property and I got back home to Plum Grove, to the only home I've ever known for all of the years of my life. And then it hit me. I'm like, I'm moving. And it's a moment. And Jake out in the pasture had that moment. And he just cried and cried and cried. And it was the most beautiful thing. But in saying so, Kelly says he loves his Uncle Lester. Jake gave a lot of props to us in that video. And it was beautiful because I'm in the tub. And Jamie's like, what's wrong with you? Because when I'm in the tub and I start crying, I slide down and go underwater. So all you can hear are the bubbles. I don't want anyone to hear me. So I just slide down and I'm like crying underwater. That helps a little bit because you don't want anyone to hear you in the bathroom crying. There's places you don't mind crying, but you don't want to be in the bathroom crying. So I will just slide underwater.
You two are a lot alike, to be honest.
Well, Jamie could hear the bubbles, I guess. And I don't know what she did, but she come in there like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, anyway, so I had to explain and I tried to like show her the video. And I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I just go. Just go.
He's like, or he pulls his hat down if he's in a hat. Or he's like, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I'm an ugly crier. I am the ugliest crier. Anyone who knows criers, there are some people who can cry and look pretty when they do it. Jamie's a pretty crier. There are some folks who can cry and look so pretty. You just love them to death when you see them crying, and you just can't help but just want to put your arms on them and hold them and tell them how sorry you are for. And you did nothing wrong, but I'm so sorry anyway because they're so pretty when they cry. But I'll tell you what, other folks can cry, and you're like, "What the hell? You've been poisoned? What's wrong with you?" Because your face can just contort to all kinds of.
I'm an ugly crier.
No, you're
being polite.
No, I'm an ugly crier, and so I don't just go. I'm not trying to shoo her away, but no, it was a beautiful video and a special moment, and so Jake will have to. He'll have a few moments like that. But just like we still have a place we can go, and I of course with giving. And letting Ellie and Megan start, kind of take over and run the Plum Grove property has helped us tremendously. There's still a lot of animals over there that we worry about, that we love so much. And that, so we still go back. We still go back and visit. And Jake will also be able to go back. He'll still have his house there until the next flood, but he'll still have his home there, and he'll be able to have a place to go back and visit, and spend a few hours here and there and stuff. But taking that first step is something that was really, really hard to do. And so
I'm proud of them both. I think it's a really, it's a really big step. And Alyssa and I have actually had this conversation a little bit, like both of us moved across the country to Texas. But we had both moved several times in our life before, and not necessarily just down the road or things like that. Like, we both were pretty independent in that space of, and it's different for, I think, for you guys, because that really is all you know. So like, there's no experience that involves the fact that you have to drive somewhere to go see family.
Think about that, because a lot of folks, and I don't know all of your stories, but if you had parents who moved because of a job, or they moved because of a military family, or they moved, for different reasons, but our families have been put forever. I mean, we've been set forever in the same place. And so anyone who's been in the same place with the same people, maybe not living on the same hill, that's a little bit extreme, but it's hard to make that kind of a move.
Like, I think I moved 3 times as a kid, like, not a lot. My parents got divorced, that time. I'm sure that I moved in earlier times when they rented houses before I could remember those things. But I mean, like, 3 times in my lifetime before I became an adult that I moved. And then when I became an adult, I had apartments, and I different relationships led to moving to different places, like those types of things. So for me, yeah, moving sucks. Like, the act of moving and packing up all of your things is hard and emotional and all of those things. But it wasn't like that was the only place that I knew. So I think of the Morrows and Morrow Hill and like all of them being together all the time, being able to go borrow a tool. Or if you're outside struggling, somebody is likely outside watching you and somebody's going to come help you.
Well, and you're safe. You always have safety. There's always family. Someone's always home. If you need to leave for a day or for a few hours, someone's always around to watch out for you. If an animal gets out, you leave a gate open, someone that you don't know shows up to your house, someone's going to be over there.
But also knowing the circle and paths that you take of the restaurants you eat at, the doctor's office you go to, where you get your feed from, where it's safe to get gas, all of those things are very like built into you. And you have never experienced like having to figure those new things out. So there's so much new that happened with him and our purchase of Longhorn Lester's that was like, it was really neat to be able to experience things with Lester for the first time that I'm excited for Lissa and Jake to get to do, because this is a brand new journey for them. They're not following in anyone's footsteps, and they did it on their own. And it's a brand new place for them to explore, to figure out, different routes to be able to get back to Plum Grove. Like, that was another thing that I think that we always took the same path for the first several months. And then all of a sudden
we lost our bridge.
We lost the bridge and we're like, oh my God, we have to find a new way.
Now
so it was also, it's still full of discovery and mystery and learning the new land, the land that you have grown up on and lived in your whole life. You knew every inch of it. There were no secrets. You knew where water flowed. You knew how things went when it stormed, what happened to the roads when you get there. And it is all brand new. And being able to experience that was like, it was really powerful, because there were things that I was able actually to bring to the table at that point in time, because I had a variety of other experiences that Lester had not had. Now, it's not a lot, but it is about navigation or about erosion or things. And I'm not an expert, but I at least had some sort of experience to be able to contribute, versus at Morrow Hill, it was already like known. So I'm excited for Lissa in that sense to be able to have new things to experience with Jake versus her coming to his experiences. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes, every bit of that. And then I'm just reading some of the comments as Jamie's talking, and I understand that not everyone can understand, and you just don't get it, why Jake or why other family members have moved off of the hill, Tina and Rob. And I get it if you've never experienced a change in your community, one that not only affects the amount of time that you spend stuck in traffic, that adds a huge toll. I listened to Buddy and Stephanie on their live today, and Buddy talked about how his normal commute to work is about 15 minutes, taking the kids to school, 15 minutes. And his entire work career, he was used to driving 15 minutes one way to take the kids to school, to work. And then all of a sudden, when it changed to over an hour, and now your workplace didn't change, but you're sitting there with the kids stuck in traffic that is just inching along. And then you have obviously the flooding issues, and all of that is new. All of the things that have happened with the new development across the street has changed the entire dynamic. Of course, with Hurricane Harvey happening and a lot of the original residents losing their homes, and most who could not rebuild up and moved away. And so you have new neighbors, and the entire dynamic has changed in Plum Grove. And so I understand that a lot of folks see it. Go ahead.
But I was going to say, though, even if it didn't, even if those things didn't change or didn't occur, there comes a time in people's life that sometimes you have a curiosity of change or a desire to move, and that is only someone that is experiencing can explain that and can make those decisions. Like, I didn't wake up and think, oh, I'm going to find me a man in Texas and move across the country. Like, that was all random, circumstantial. And even when it came down to it, it was hard to make that decision, very hard.
Well, and also Jake. So Jake had, I think that really Jake only had, and I don't speak for Jake, friends. Jake is my nephew and I love him dearly. I feel like I had a big part in raising Jake and I love our relationship. But I don't speak for Jake. I think that he's explained all of these things. That's where I'm getting it from. But he felt squeezed in. And if you think about it, his family's growing. His animal family is growing. Yet he only has so much area to grow. And there's no more space around. And so that was another one of the factors as well. But I think the breaking point came in the last flood.
Yeah.
When he sat there and he watched that water creeping up closer and closer and closer. Him moving the animals further and further away from the river. The water just kept coming. And the thing is, they had just replaced all of their flooring from the last flood a couple of months earlier.
Yeah.
And then the stress of Lissa having a baby in tow and having to go through all of that and trying to get her to safety, and then having a baby here and watching that water come up. And that takes a toll. And so I understand that it'll be hard on Jake for a while, and it was hard on us for a while, more so me than Jamie, and it's still hard on us. I mean, there's still days where if I can't get LE to answer or reply to a text, I panic. I start worrying. What's going on, and I have to try to find someone who will tell me what's going on with something here or there.
But I just think it's part of growth, and I mean, again, put all of those things aside, like. I'm just really happy for them both to be able to have
we've not seen the property. I want to go, but
we haven't been invited.
I keep kind of inviting myself, saying, hey, I got a drone. I'll be happy to drive it over and fly it up for you. Jake, I can bring my tractor and my bush hog over if you want me to help you mow. And I'm keep trying to invite myself, and I don't think he's taking the hint. He's not taking the darn hint.
I don't think it's theirs yet. But I am inviting myself over for the baby. And I first of all was invited by both Jake and Lissa anytime. So now that I have a gift, and
you're going.
I'm going to see the baby. So I'm imposing a little bit.
That's okay.
But I'm excited for them. And I think it goes for anybody. You have to make decisions that are best for you, no matter what the reasoning is. Nobody else gets to live your life or pay your bills or anything else. It's all your responsibility. And there's a lot of adventure in a new place. And I'm excited for them both.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Well, listen, friends, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but as you all can see, we are well past our hour. I want to say thank you for the folks who have not submitted, you don't have to submit, but who sent us a picture of yourself in your voodoo shirt. Now, listen, I've made 3 chapters so far.
There's many more to come.
If you've already sent your picture, don't send it again because you haven't seen it yet. But we have 3 chapters so far. We have several more chapters to go. And at that point, I'll say, okay, friends, if you have not seen your picture, that means I must have lost it, or it didn't come through the mail or something. So thank you all so much for that. When we leave here in a couple of minutes, I'll put that video to play again in case you guys missed it when we first started. And those are the voodoo shirt pictures that helped pay for all of his medical expenses at Texas A&M not too long ago. Jamie, why don't you wrap it up for us with something really deep and profound? Just really make yourself sound
Why
smart.
you gotta set it
And
up like that?
do not sound like a senior like me. Don't sound like a senior, please, whatever you do.
I know that we're a roller coaster of emotion on tonight's live, but sincerely, our hearts go out to those that are impacted by Helene, and we understand it, but we could never imagine what you're going through on your level.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Your home,
I understand.
Your home was still there. Your home was still there. All we're saying is we're here, and we're going to find a way to help as well. So we love you so much, and we're so grateful that you could join us today and every day. I've told Lester right before we went live, I'm like, I feel like I've talked to these people a lot today already, and so have you. So thank you for putting up with us, for loving us, for, coaching Lester through his senior moments. And
it's going to get worse before it gets better, y'all. I can promise you that. It's going to get worse before it gets better, okay? But thank you for loving me anyway, and for accepting me with all of my many flaws, even when I forget names of animals or forget names of my partner, okay? Thank you for loving me anyway, and for a little bit of grace, just for the grace. I appreciate you guys having some grace.
We hope you all have a safe evening. Stay well, and we will catch you on the next video.
Right here. All right, guys.